morning and welcome. My name is Lauren Lewis with Power for Parkinsons. Welcome to our Young Onset Circuit Training class. This class is a high energy, high repetition class meant for people with young onset Parkinson's disease, people with mild symptoms of Parkinson's that can exercise comfortably for an hour standing and can get on and off the floor fairly comfortably as well. You may want to have a chair nearby to assist you for safety, and for some of our exercises, you may want to use the chair. You also can use a wall for some of our exercises for safety and balance as well. You'll also need for today's class, in addition to a chair, you'll also need some light weights if you want. You can do any of these exercises without the weights. You can use water bottles to give you a little resistance as well, or just use your hands without any resistance. Please make sure that you stay at your own pace. This is a non-competitive class, and enjoy. If you have not warmed up yet, here's your chance to turn off the video for a few minutes. Go warm up your body, preparing it for exercise. It's important before you do any exercise program that you prepare your body properly so that you can lower the risk of injury. We do have a few warm-up exercise tapes in our library. You may want to try one of those, or just kind of do it something on your own, some light jogging or jumping jacks or something mild to get your heart rate up for about 3 or 4 minutes. Then come back and join me. All right. So our exercise circuit today consists of 6 exercises. Each exercise is a compound exercise, which means that we're not isolating muscles. We're using a lot of different large muscles. And each exercise is meant to address common symptoms of Parkinson's disease. We'll get into that on the second round, but let's go through the first round together and understand each exercise. The first exercise we're going to do is an inchworm with a hip tap. So an inchworm is kind of like a caterpillar. You get down into a plank, you walk back and forth, you just don't get up. So here's my caterpillar inchworm. Come down into a plank position. You want to make sure your body is long and lean. Make sure your wrists are underneath your shoulders. You're going to walk back to your toes. Straight legs touch, walk it back so you don't stand up as opposed to a caterpillar where you do. And from here, you're going to try to touch, cross your hips, cross your arms to your opposite hip and tap. Now, this gets fun and gets a lot more fun if you try to keep those hips in line. Instead of turning your hips and swinging and swaying, try to control those hips. So, and by doing so, you're really working a little more firmly on those core muscles. You can make this a little easier if you need to, and that's fine by just widening those legs. That'll give you a little more stability and allow you to really concentrate on focusing on those hips. If you cannot reach your toes, go into a downward dog. That's fine too. Or another modification, bend your knees, walk it halfway, keeping your head even, and that's a great modification. All of them use all the muscles that we're working on perfectly. So I'm going to put on 50 seconds on our clock and some music, and let's have some fun. Inchworm hip taps. All right, in your inchworm, we're going to walk back. I'm going to go for the toes because I'm just that kind of person. And touch those hips. I'm going to touch 4 times. You can touch 2 times, your choice. The point of this exercise, we're working, again, compound muscles. We're working core, working shoulder, hip stability, shoulder stability, arms, chest, and back. Yep, we got it all. This is a true full body exercise. Stay at your pace. Concentrate on really working those muscles. Slow and controlled so that you're really working them to their fullest. Abs are tight. Try not to swing and sway. Try to keep those arms underneath you. Straighten your knees if you can. That will work your hamstrings. Otherwise, bend them. That'll work your glutes. And there it is. I'm going to come back down to the floor. Stronger leg stands in front. Hands on the thigh. Come on up. Second exercise we're going to be doing with our chair. So we're going to start. This exercise is called a box squat, but we're going to use a chair instead of a box. We're going to do squats from the chair, which means we're just getting in and out of the chair. The squat, your legs are in front of you in the squat position, just like you would when you're squatting. Your legs are, you're sitting back, your legs really don't move. So we're sitting in that squat position. Your hands are here on your shoulders. If you need your hands for assistance, that's fine. Hands can be here. You're going to come all the way up, find your balance. So that's our box squat. And then from here, we're gonna do cross crunch. Right elbow, left knee, left to right, crossing. Then we're gonna sit down. If you need some assistance to sit down, make sure that chair's still there. Hands on your thighs to slow you down. Hands on your thighs to lift you. Hand on your thighs to slow you down. If you don't need that, start with your hands up here. Come up, find your balance, cross your crunch. If you wanna add just a little more challenge, add some weights in your hands. Have you got it? Think about using all those muscles. This is a lot of balance in this exercise. Here we go. Push on your heels to stand, head and chest are tall. Cross, this is core, doing a standing crunch. Come up, push on your heels, find your balance before you go to that crunch. Sit down. Notice I'm slowly coming up and slowly coming down because I want to use the muscles to sit. I don't want to fall back and just plop down. I want to use those muscles. Come up, push on those heels, stand tall, use that crunch. The crunch is all abs right there, so we're working those obliques also. Pull your belly, try to lift those knees nice and high. So we're getting, again, into those muscles. That's our timer. Let me get my chair out of my way. You may want to keep that chair in front of you for the next exercise. The next exercise is a back lunge with rotation. I'm going to grab my weights. You don't have to. Weights will help, is a nice extra challenge. The chair in front of you right here will help in case you need assistance with balance. A back lunge is, you take one leg at a time, you step backwards, you want to work on 90 degrees is it's a big important number in balance, in exercise. 90 degrees, when in doubt, your limbs or arms, whatever, should be at 90. So here we have 90 degrees. Once we're down at 90, you're gonna rotate toward the knee that's in front. Then step that leg up, find your balance again, step way back, find that 90 degree in both, rotate all the way around, slow and controlled. That chair is here to assist. Are you ready? We're gonna put our music on, and our timer on. Our third set, back lunge, rotation. Here we go. Nice long bend, make sure those legs are working. We're working here. You're gonna feel this in your flexor, the top of your legs. We're lengthening those flexors. And we're also working your quadriceps, the front of the leg. The rotation adds obliques, adds an abdominal aspect to it. So we're not just working legs, we're also working core. And balance. Stay at your pace, pick this up a little faster if you'd like, or slow it down. We want to make sure that we're working muscularly, we're working all those large muscles. We want to make sure we're working safely. We want to make sure we're strengthening those legs. Woo. All right, nice job. I'm going to get the chair out of the way. For the next 3 exercises, you're going to be on the floor. So position yourself, come on down to the floor. The first exercise we're going to do is for core. It's an abdominal exercise. We're going to do a leg drop with a scarecrow reach. So what I mean by that is, you can start with your knees bent here at 90 degrees. We're going to drop one leg at a time to the floor. Extend that leg. When you do that, and here's where the core comes in, you have to push your belly button in so that your lower back is touching the floor. Try not to let your lower back come off the floor when you do that. Now the scarecrow, the second part of our compound exercise, your arms are here on the floor at a scarecrow position, and then you're going to reach overhead and come back. So again, here's my arms. I'm going to add my arms to my legs. Reach overhead, pulling my back and the lower back into the floor and come back. Reach, pushing away with my leg, pulling down with my back and back. I gave you a few seconds to practice that before we put on our timer. Timer goes on now. Give it a try. This may be something new and different for you. Let's try it together. Pushing down. And to get more of a challenge, if you need to challenge yourself more, you can drop that leg lower to the floor and you can reach way overhead. As long as your lower back stays flat on the floor, you're fine. If you want to make it even more fun, and by fun I always mean harder, you can take those knees from bent to straight. But I warn you, it's a lot more challenging. You may want to just stay bent, stay at your pace, work your way toward the harder level as you get stronger. Keep pushing. If you feel your lower back coming off the floor, that means your leg is going down too far down. I don't want you to go that far that your lower back comes off the floor. And there's our 50 seconds. Stay where you are for our next exercise. You will need, you may want to use your water bottle or your weight or nothing for the next exercise. We're going to do a plank pull through with a row. So a plank is, again, plank, regular position. I'm going to move just slightly on an angle. I'm going to use one weight for this exercise. The weight is all the way over to one side. I'm going to take my opposite hand, grab the weight, pull it through, plank pull through, and here's my row. So I'm working shoulder, back, abs, pull, row, and drop. Switch. Pull from outside, pull it in, row, and drop. Drop it out to the weight to the outside so you'll be able to pull through. If you, to modify this, make it just a little more appropriate for you, this can be done on your knees. Just make sure that your body, once again, is in a plank position. Make sure you're not up here. Plank, long plank position, pull through, row, and drop. Same exercise, just modified according to what works for you. All right, let's put on our music. And here we go. This exercise feels like it's just another, not just, but another abdominal exercise, but it's really working, in addition to abdominals, our upper back, also working shoulder, back of shoulder, working biceps and triceps. So it's very much a full body exercise. It's almost full body. Working all those muscles, a lot of upper body, a little more upper body in this one. But we're trying to get a full body at the end, so we've added this on to include a little more strength training in the upper body. Reach, pull. Abs are tight. Reach and pull. And there's our time. The last exercise is a mountain climber. I often include mountain climbers as a strength training exercise to increase our strength in our abdominals, increase the strength in shoulder stability and hip stability. Today I'm including it actually just for cardio. So I want you to do this as nice and quickly. I want you to run it out instead of walking it in and making it very controlled. I'm going to do it modified for me. So I'm going to put my chair here and run it out on a slightly higher level just to make it more appropriate for my body. You can do these on the floor, you can do them on a chair, you can do this against the wall. You're in a plank position and you're just, let's get that weight out of the way before I really hurt myself. And we're just gonna run, nice and fast. This is for cardio. Trying to get that heart rate up, feed the brain. Here we go. In place, run it out. Now, cardio doesn't mean steady state necessarily, so what you can do to make this more fun is really run it out and slow it down a little, and then run it a little faster, and then slow it down, or just stay in steady state, that's fine too, as long as you're getting that heart rate up. Pull your belly tight, find the beat with the music, that'll help too maybe. Run it out. It's only 50 seconds, I know you can do this. For some reason, the cardio seems to be the hardest part for everybody, right? Woo! Pull your belly tight, we're almost done. And there it is, roll up. Woo! From the floor, make sure you're taking one leg in front, using your hands to lift up. Please walk it off. Grab some water as you need it. You never want to continue this second round until that heart rate is comfortable again. So walk it off, take some nice long deep breaths, and we're going to get ready to do our second set. We're going to do all 6 exercises again. Now that you know how to do them, I'm going to explain why for this particular class. So the first exercise, the inchworm hip tap, that exercise is included in today's class because I want you to think about range of motion. I want you to think about really extending your limbs. A common symptom of Parkinson's is not realizing that your limbs are not fully extended. So this feels like lifted when in fact they're not. Same thing, this exercise allows you the opportunity to see where you are, to feel what those long extended limbs see and feel like. And then we've got that hip crossing. I threw that in for balance because balance is a very common symptom of Parkinson's. We want to make sure we're always stimulating the brain and the body, those sensors to work on balance. And also by crossing that hand to your hip, you're using the brain more fully because your brain has to talk to both sides of the brain whenever you cross the midline. So let's start with our inchworms. Hopefully your heart rate is down after those mountain climbers. And I want you to think about using all those muscles we talked about, but this time really exaggerate the Parkinson's benefits as well. So here we go, hit the ground. I'm in my inchworm. I can bend or straight. Either way, look to see where your body is. Look to make sure your knees are straight if that's what you're doing. Your arms are definitely straight. Legs are straight right here, fully extended. And then tap those hips. Try not to use swing and sway. That's going to use your abdominals slightly differently. It really triggers those obliques. Pull it tight. Look to make sure your body is fully extended, those arms and legs in that plank. All right, that's our first exercise. Come on up. Join me for our box squats. Hands on your thigh. I'm going to pull that chair out. So now that you understand the box squat, you're unweighting, you're standing up, and once you find your balance, you're doing your crunch. This is all about gait. This exercise is almost all about gait. Not just strengthening the legs for leg strength, but also for gait, for walking. So we're going to push down on those heels. We're going to lift that leg nice and high, reminding the brain to lift as opposed to shuffle. All right? By just doing that exercise over and over again, reminding the brain to lift, it will transfer into real life, and hopefully your legs will start reminding your body to lift a little higher. We're also crossing, using that opposite arm, again, for gait, for a more balanced, natural walk. I'm going to put our timer on, our music on. Now that you already know how to do the exercise, think about why you're doing it and exaggerate. Hands are here if you can, otherwise on your thigh. Here we go. Push down nice and hard. Stand up on your balance, cross, crunch. You can hold those weights if you want to, make it a little more fun. Make sure that you're balanced. Remember, try to concentrate and slow down the squat. Slow down that squat on the way up and down so it's muscular, not momentum, and so that you're safe. You want to be safe above and beyond anything else. Push down nice and hard. Cross that midline. Go for the opposite. You don't have to touch the knee. You just have to cross toward the knee. Here is fine too. That's fine. Have a seat. Time is up. All right. You're going to grab your weights if you want for the next exercise. Again, the next exercise is all about gait. This time, we're not just talking about lifting the legs, but now we want to talk about widening the stride. So we're not taking those little steps that sometimes you see with people with Parkinson's. We want to remind the brain not to do that. So in this exercise, not only are we working at 90 degrees to keep our knees safe, we're working on long extensions to remind the brain to take long steps. So we're down here in our 90 degree or better lunge, and now we're working on rigidity, on that moving of the upper body. Sometimes some people find they become stiff. We want to rotate, reminding the brain to move more fluidly right and left, and that's why I added the rotation. And also because we want to work as many compound muscles as possible, so I threw that in to make it a little more balance-oriented, core-oriented. Here we go. Nice and low, big steps, rotate. Stand up, switch sides, all the way down, long, wide steps. Again, you know how to do it now. Think about why you're doing it and exaggerate it, make it really purposeful. down. To make this more fun, you can go deeper. Stay at your level. Don't let me push you to do something that's wrong for you. This is for you, not for me. Okay, it's for me too. We're all working together. All right, nice job. Good job. Good work. All right, the next 3 exercises are on the floor, so find your positioning on the floor. First, we're starting with that core exercise. This exercise is all about posture and balance. So as I said, it's a core exercise, dropping the leg. We're working, pushing your back and your belly into the floor. The arms, however, are starting to work now into the upper back. By working the upper back, it strengthens those muscles in your back to allow you to stand tall. So again, not only is your gait more natural, but it tightens those muscles that allow you to come forward. It'll tighten those muscles and bring you more erect. So let's work on that. Think about really using those upper back. All right, I'm going to put on our timer and our music. Let's get going. Timer, all right. I think sometimes it really helps not to just know how to do something, but know why you're doing it. So I'm working on posture here. I'm working on range of motion. My back is pushing into the floor. I can feel my chest opening up, standing tall. Push down with the lower back. Make sure your shoulder blades are on the floor. Make it a little harder, a little more fun. You can bring those legs up and drop one at a time. You can keep those legs up, but not go to the floor if that is better for you. Make sure your lower back never comes off the floor. That's the most important part. You don't want to strain your back. You want to work it. I love these. These are one of my favorites. I feel like I'm getting 2 things done at once, and 2 things I really want to work on. Reach. There's our timer. All right, stay down. Next exercise is on the ground. All right. So the next exercise is our plank pull-through row. Actually, there's a lot of real benefits in this. Again, one weight if you want. The weight goes out to your side. You pull it through and row. What we're working here is really a lot of balance. And as I said, balance is one of those symptoms that just so many people with Parkinson's experience. So we want to work on the balance as much as possible. So we're on one arm. We're pulling through. All of our strength is on one side of the body. We're pulling through. So we're crossing that midline and dropping it. Cross the midline, using our brain more fully, and a nice big row. And depending on how much weight or how much you want to turn, we're also working on maybe a little rigidity, right? Twisting at the waist. So keep that in mind. Try to exaggerate the motion now that you understand it better. Music, maestro. Timer on. Here we go. Plank, pull through with your opposite arm and row and drop it. Take it, pull it through the arm and drop it. Row. Abs are tight. You can always modify this by coming down to your knees. That's not cheating, I promise. No one's going to say you're cheating. They're going to say you're working at your pace. And the more you work at your pace, the stronger you become. Pull. Tummy tight. And timer. Just in time, right? Me too. Last exercise, stay down or grab that chair if you want to, or go to the wall, whichever one. This one's just for cardio. Cardio, it's really important, especially for Parkinson's disease, but really for anyone, and they're trying to get healthy and fit. Cardio is really important. We're sending blood and oxygen to the brain. We want to feed the brain since Parkinson's is a neurological disease. We want to make sure that the brain is keeping fed and healthy. So we want to keep all the blood and oxygen going. And also we want to make sure that we're keeping fit. We're reminding the body to move quickly, and we're feeding it. So let's just put on our music and just run right through that last exercise together. I'm going to stay down on the ground this time because I'm a stickler for hurting myself. No, here we go, run it out. And again, you can make this as fast or as slow as you want to, but I'm going to be encourage you to stay at a level that forces your oxygen, that forces you to really make this cardio not muscular. So I'm going to take it real fast for a little while, and then I'm going to slow it down, and then make it really fast for a little while, and then slow it down, and I'm really getting into that heart rate. Woo! This is when that 50 seconds feels so slow. Abs are tight, head is forward, don't look behind you. Your legs are just going front back. You don't have to worry, they're not going to go away from you. Keep your hips down, run it out, we're almost done. Woo! Time. Slowly, carefully, come on up. One leg in front of the other. Lift, walk it off, great job. Oh my goodness. All right, grab some water. Great job. 2 rounds, 1 left to go. You're doing great. Stay with me. Only 1 more round. And the last round is the best round. All right, as you're catching your breath, as I'm catching my breath, we're going to do all 6 exercises one more time. This time, a brain game. I'm going to give you something to think about while you're thinking about your form, while you're thinking about why you're doing it, the Parkinson's benefit. There's something else I want you to think about. So, the inchworm shoulder taps, while we're doing those, and maybe how about every time you finish your inchworm, you come down to the floor just before you do your shoulder taps, come up with a phrase, think of a phrase that starts with the word jump. And I'm going to give you the first one so you know what I'm talking about, and you can use it. You're allowed to use mine for the first one. How about jump to it? Some phrase that starts with the word jump. All right, I think we got our heart rate down a little. You're feeling a little more comfortable. Get ready. This is our last round. 6 more exercises, and we're done. I'm loving this one today, huh? Okay. Inchworm in the plank. Here we go. Jump to it. And again, remember, you don't have to touch your toes. You can just go into a downward dog right here and walk it forward. Or you can bend those knees and bring it back. They're all fine. They're all great answers. This exercise just feels so good on my lower back. Think about jump to it or jump, words that, phrases that have the word jump in it, jump in it. Are you thinking of any? Are you stumped? All right, down on the ground, one leg up. Come on up, get ready for our box squats with the crunch. All right, the first time I did this the other day, I came up with almost none of those phrases that start with jump, but you know, after you start thinking about it, you have a whole night to think about it, lots of them. So I did better today. All right, box squats, as we said, you're gonna start in a seated position. Just a reminder, you're coming up and crossing, standing nice and tall, make sure you're balanced. This time I want you to think of sports that you watch on television, not just any sport, sports that are on television. All right, here we go. Find your positioning, working on balance, working on crossing in the midline. Push your weight on your heels. Think of a sport that you watch on television. Push down. Try to lift those knees nice and high right here. Ready? Lift, lift. Sit down, push down on those heels. Find your balance. Stay safe. Your hands can be on your thighs. That's not cheating. Yeah? Time's up. Great job. All right. Keep that chair near you if you need it for the back lunge rotations. Remember, we want to take real large steps backwards. So you may want that chair there for your rotation. I'm going to grab my weights, and this time I want you to think of things that you see. It's almost June. We're entering May this week. The wedding season. I've already been invited to 2 weddings for the summer, so I'm thinking of things that you do or things that you see, things that are involved in a wedding, okay? And I hope that doesn't give you, anxiety. So things that you do or see or things at a wedding. Expect to see at a wedding. All right. Standing tall, back lunge, nice and wide. Remember, 50 seconds. Take your time, work nice and slow. Big step. And rotate toward the front leg. Wedding. Try to really rotate, working on rigidity, really working on that trunk. Working on balance, obliques. That 6-pack, yeah. Big step. Time. All right. Weights go down on the ground. Keep them nearby if you want to for the pull-throughs. All right, the next 3, the last 3 exercises, you're going to hit the ground for. We're going to start with the leg drops with the scarecrow. And this time, scarecrow, I don't know why, made me think of fish. I don't know why. So try to think of as many types of fish as you can throughout the 50 seconds. Get in position, you're on your back, your knees are bent or straight. Really, really reach. Use your lower back. Here we go. Types of fish. Maybe some of you have had a fish tank or aquarium. Think of those, or just been to an aquarium. Push down with your lower back. Reach with those arms. Feel the floor throughout the entire exercise, working on posture. Woo. Don't let your tummy pull out. You want to pull in instead of out on the exertion. And again, you don't have to bring that leg to the floor. That's not what it's about. It's about extending. It's about pushing down with your back. There's our 50 seconds. Roll up, roll over into a plank. Hold for a second. I got exactly what I saw yesterday. The next exercise are our plank pull-throughs. This time I want you, when you pull through on your right side, I want you to count by ones. 1, and then when you count on your left side, you're going to count down from 50. 50, 2, 49. So you're counting up on one side, down on the other side. This is going to take some concentration. I'm not going to mess you up by talking. I'm going to put the music on. I'm going to put our timer on. Here's your chance to really concentrate. But remember, you want to focus on form, and you want to focus on really exaggerating those motions so that we're getting some benefit for our Parkinsons as well. Here it comes. You're using opposite arms, crossing through. Use those opposite arms, don't use the same arm. Pull through and row. Keep that abs tight. Try not to lift your hips. I did promise I wouldn't talk, didn't I? Can't do it. Have to talk. All right, we've got one last exercise to do. Get in position, wherever that is, and we're going to do our mountain climbers. I'm coming back up for a modified mountain climber. Make sure you're ready to go. There's no brain game for this one. Just run as hard as you can. We want to try to get 50 seconds of real hard cardio in. Ready, 50 seconds, go! Keep those arms straight. Run it out. Bring the knees to your chest. I'm going to make it a little faster because you're not you doing? Almost done, I promise. I really love this. You can do it. Stay with me. We're almost done. Woo! There it is. Roll up, one leg on front of the other. Come on up. Walk it up. Give yourself a hand. You did great. Nice job today. Walk it off. Grab some water. Wipe off. Oh, think about what a great job you did. You should be really proud of yourself. This was a tough one today. I think this was really tough. Had you on that ground a lot. None of that easy just picking up weights today. Full body exercise is always a lot harder for a lot of people than doing weights, because weights you can just pick up those 3s or 2s or 5s, but you weigh what you weigh. So you gotta move your own body. That's great, good for you. All right, let's get our heart rate down and stretch out, and we'll call it a day and go enjoy the day. All right. Heart rate comes down together. Let's breathe in. 1 deep breath in. 4 exhales with me. One more time together. Deep inhale. Exhale. All right. I'm going to grab that chair over here to assist me in my stretching. Let's stretch out the quadriceps, the front of your leg first. I'm going to ask you to hold on to your chair or the wall or whatever you've got nearby. Take one leg way behind you. Bend it as we did in that lunge position when we were doing the back lunges. But this time you're going to stay here. Put most of your weight on the chair so this doesn't become muscular. But, and on your thigh, the other thigh, make sure your back is not round or off center there. Just stay right here. And I want you to feel a nice stretch right here, and together we're just going to say ooh for about 10 seconds. Come on, let's use our vocal power. Ooh. Great job. Stay where you are. Slowly take that back leg, slide it in front. Now your heel is down. Take your other leg, bring it on maybe like to 2 o'clock. Okay? Or maybe 11 o'clock, depending on what leg you're on. Sit all the way back. Try to keep hips even if you can. Lean forward, not down. Now we're stretching the glute and the hamstring. Both legs are stretching. Nice and easy. We've said ooh, now let's say ah together. Use your back and roll up. I'm going to move that chair over. You can just step over to the other side. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to take that back, the front leg, bring it all the way back to a nice long lunge, leaning into the chair so it allows us not to put weight on that leg, but rather just to stretch it. And let's count together, nice and loud, using your vocal power, but we're going to kind of sing that count and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, slowly and gently slide that leg in front. Hips go back. All your weight is heel, leaning forward, not down. Your heel is down, stretching. You're going to feel a nice stretch in both legs or working hamstring and glute. Stretch it all out. Let's count backwards from 10 in kind of a sing-song, so we're using different parts of our vocal range. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Were you able to follow that? Gently release and roll up. Good, let's stand behind the chair, hands on the chair. You're going to bend your knees just slightly, drop your chin. This is for upper back. Remember all that exercise we did on the floor, those scarecrows? So we squeeze the back. Now we want to round and stretch the back. So drop your chin, bring those arms as far forward as possible. Notice my arms are straight. I'm just pushing my chest through my arms, stretching out my shoulders and upper back. And we said ooh, we said ah, let's say oh. Ready? Oh. gently and slowly release, roll all the way up. Standing nice and tall, use your chair for balance. Bring your arms totally overhead. We are stretching the entire body. Open up your fingers, open up your chest, lift your shoulders up to your ears, bring yourself up to the top of your toes, find your balance, hold your belly in. Try to remember all this while you're contracting every muscle in your body. Feel your calves tightening and lengthening. Feel your quadriceps, feel your glutes, all those upper and lower muscles in your legs. Tightening, lengthening, and stretching. Feel your abdominals lifting, your back lifting up and stretching. Feel your arms getting higher and more and lengthening up. Open up those fingers nice and tight. Hold for 2 more seconds. Drop down to your heels. Soften your knees. Drop your shoulders to from your ears down. Drop your arms to your side. Big circle up again. All the way up to the ceiling. You guys did a great job. Thank you so much. Let's finish with a big yay because we are finished. Yay! Great job. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please remember, we have a full library of warm-ups, of cool downs, of other exercises. If you enjoyed this class today, please give me a thumbs up. And also, if you have not subscribed yet, there's a little blue box on the bottom that says subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. What it does is change and help the algorithms, helps other people find us more readily. There's not a lot out there for young onset, so let's let everybody come and join us and work together. Thank you so much. Stay safe. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.